For years, McAllen ambassadors traveled to the state capital independently to advocate for the city's interest on McAllen Day, much like other Valley towns. But in the last legislative session, South Texas leaders opted to join forces and present a regional front. McAllen Mayor Jim Darling says banding together for RGV Day at the Capitol has been a success.
Well, when you think about it, we come up as about 1.2 million plus people as opposed to any individual city, and so the impact is tremendous.
So again in 2017, the Valley delegation blanketed the Capitol, meeting with representatives throughout the day, urging Valley lawmakers to be vocal about providing an accurate portrayal of the border.
And I think what everybody has realized throughout the Valley is that we are a region now. It's important we think like a region. So I think it's important that Austin, other leaders throughout the state, other elected officials, the governor, other senators understand the importance our region has to the state.
On the House floor, State Representative Terry Canales declared that South Texas is not a war zone, but a trade zone.
As somebody who lives there and has children there, my family there, it's not a war zone. You know, I have no fear of being out and about, and so, but it's important that we let people know. I mean, we've got a tourist mecca in South Padre Island. We've got SpaceX. We've got some of the most beautiful areas that Texas has to offer. And the bottom line is that the rhetoric that it's a war zone or that this border security effort needs to militarize the border, to me, it's nonsense.
City Manager Roy Rodriguez says they're ready to tackle issues that are central to the entire area.
In the Valley, we need to understand that when it comes to big issues like the universities, the medical schools, transportation, if we do not unite and come here to Austin as one voice, then it's going to be very, very difficult for us to compete with the rest of the state.
Since last session, legislators understood working with the budget would be tricky this time around.
Surviving the $6 billion or so budget shortfall is going to be priority number one.
Representative Oscar Longoria, who sits on the Appropriations Committee, says he's hoping to secure higher education and border security funding.
Some of the issues are make sure we continue to fund K through 12. Our public school system is very important in South Texas. And of course, the university, UTRGV, educates numerous individuals from South Texas, so it's important that we keep a focus on that. We have a new component now, which is the medical school, so we need to make sure that they receive adequate funding so that they can continue to grow. Those are kind of the important issues. And of course, you have the issue with border security. Some folks like it, some folks don't, but we need to make sure whatever investment we made the last biennium, we continue to do that.
The delegation made an impact through its strength in numbers, 200 strong. They spent the day visiting with all the RGV lawmakers and the state's top movers and shakers to shine the spotlight on border issues.
Well, it's very important because it gives us an opportunity to build relationships with them and give them information about the things that we need in the Rio Grande Valley that the state of Texas could help us with.
Representatives say they're maintaining a united front with regional legislation to benefit everyone.
We're working on bills that have to do with international trade and economic development. We want to see if we can partner or direct TxDOT to invest more in border infrastructure, which is to help a lot of our international bridges.
Mayor Darling says the message during RGV Day at the Capitol was threefold.
Workforce development and special training programs benefit everybody in the Valley. It's going to be good for every city down there. And so, that's an easy one. Infrastructure is we're always fighting with the rest of the state for roadway and other kind of infrastructure. So we talk a little bit about that. If they understand how important trade is in Texas, they ought to understand how important the border is, because that's where the trade comes through. So, we just keep pounding that message through.
Representative Sergio Muñoz says making education affordable is a top priority. One
of the things that we struggle with a lot is the cost of higher education, whether you're going to a community college or you're going to a four-year university. And if there's a way to make it more affordable, more accessible, short of maybe regulating it, I think you would give more students more of an opportunity.
For other Rio Grande Valley leaders, it's about telling the South Texas story with our neighbors to the south.
Right now we must stand together to make sure that we are heard, that we continue to have a relationship with Mexico along with the United States, because they are our friends. And so because of them, we need them just as much as they need us.
City Commissioner Richard Cortez says cornering some of the budget is also crucial to McAllen's economic future.
You don't solve budgetary problems by cutting expenses. You solve budgetary problems by growing your revenues. So the things that McAllen is here to do is to show them and tell them how the things that we're asking for are going to help us become better in business, help us produce more revenues for them.
The RGV legislators say during this session, working together will be vital.
And I think it's important we put our money back into our schools. But we're behind the 8 ball, so we're going to do our very best here in Austin, especially the Valley delegation, together to make sure our message is heard loud and clear, and also in how we vote.
The RGV delegation is vast. You look at Willacy County, Cameron County, Hidalgo County, and of course Starr County. So when we join together for whatever cause we want, we can bring a lot of focus to the Rio Grande Valley.
There's strength in numbers. For the City of McAllen, I'm Roxanne Lerma.